Hi everyone, it's Catchy, aka OBiGem. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, please do not forget to hit the subscribe button. Also the notification bell to be notified of all future videos. And if you like what you see, please do hit the like button so I know to keep making content just like this. So today we are doing a creative sim, just genetics of the Price family. So I know what you're thinking. We did just get the high school years pack. That did include the Price family. Why are you making them from scratch? It's because I don't actually have the high school years pack yet. I think it might be a little bit obvious at this point that I don't tend to get the packs as soon as they release, nor do I update as soon as an update comes through very often at all anymore. It's been a very, very long time, and it's just because for me, I like to play my game highly modded. And normally after a patch, lots of things break, and I'm not just talking about mods, I'm talking about in the game bugs too. And this last patch came with its fair share, and I did not want to indulge in any of them, but I did kind of want to have fun with this whole theme of high school years. So I thought, why don't I take on just making these townies from scratch instead of making them over, since I can't right now. So that is what I did. And while I decided to do that, I decided to also expand on the lore that the Sims team provided for these townies, because they were reading a little bit bland to me. So let's hop right in here. So as you guys can see, I've been starting out with Savannah, but I'm actually going to start at the beginning with this family. The matriarch and the patriarch, Jaden and Marcel Price. So in my head, these two were college sweethearts who were just part of this whole opposites attract scenario. They met, fell in love, and had very different ambitions. Marcel was more of the romantic. He's always had a way with words, and that certainly charmed Janae. He's been able to live out his dream as a writer, and his life's goal is to one day become a best-selling author. He's made many strides towards this goal. However, with a house full of kids, it's kept him busy and unable to pen that quintessential masterpiece he's been angling for. On the flip side, Janae is all business. She's a complete go-getter. She loves Marcel, and she loves when he speaks his pretty words to her, but outside of romance, fantasy and fiction just isn't her jam. She thinks it's pretty frou-frou, and in her mind, she just wants to own her own business and be a boss. And she's doing all she can to make strides towards that. And it's kind of taken her away from romantic time with her husband and family time with her kids, as she's been corporate climate and she's currently a regional manager. Her goal, obviously, is to reach the top and own her own business. But, you know, that opposites attract situation between them has been kind of driving a wedge in their marriage. And it's been a little bit on the rocks. They actually moved to Copperdale as a way to kind of start over and to get Janae back into the family, doing family activities, and to kind of put the jazz back into their romantic life. However, Janae just sees this as a new challenge to kind of get out there and conquer her hometown again. So it may be a little bit of a challenge to get Marcel, or for Marcel to get her to kind of get back into the groove of things. He actually opened up their home to the foreign exchange student, who I renamed for my version to Divesh Puri instead of Kevin Puri, so that it could kind of coax Janae into getting back into family activities. We'll see how that plays out for them. Moving on to the children, the older of the two twins, Savannah Price, she kind of was born a little bit of a prodigy. She's done everything first, and she's kind of very exceptional. She is just used to kicking butt and taking names. Namely, one of their childhood activities that her and her twin brother Sydney used to do all the time is play video games, and she used to whoop his butt all the time. And as she's gotten older, she kind of just decided to go all in on that, and she's kind of like a streaming sensation. She streams daily to thousands of eyeballs, and in her mind, she just wants to keep climbing until she's a household name known the world over, and that is 100% her focus. She is asexual. She's not interested in romantic relationships with anybody, because her sole focus really is to kind of just be this streaming star. Everything she does, everything she lives and breathes is into that, and I think that is part of the reason why she doesn't really have romance on the mind. Is she's just not wired that way. She would much rather be putting all in her energy into becoming a streaming star. Then there is Sydney, and I know out the box in EA's lore for him, he's an overachiever, room full of ribbons. But in my mind, I want to give some contrast between him and his sister. So he's kind of used to being overshadowed, coming in second place, or just plain forgotten when it comes to Sydney, since she's a star, and he's, the leftover. So when he moved to Copperdale, he had in his mind that he wanted to finally take this chance to stand out. So he is really taking it upon himself to find his thing, and his thing that he's hoping to make his thing is cheer. So he's putting all in there. And in my mind, all the ribbons in his room are not like first place prize ribbons, but kind of like participation ribbons, maybe like second, third, fourth place, because he's kind of all his life been trying to find his thing, and in the midst of that, he's kind of done plenty of activities that would enable him to win awards of all kinds, but never first place. He's hoping cheerleading will be the thing that takes him over the edge to find his thing that's his thing, so that he's recognized separate from his sister and out of her shadow. The last of the Price children, Jaden, he looks up to his parents, who are both, overachievers in their own career fields. And of course, his older siblings, Sydney and Savannah, have a lot influenced him as to what to aspire towards, especially Savannah with her being a streaming sensation. And then also even Sydney in the way that he kind of puts himself out there to really kind of try and find his own thing. But Jaden in his mind is thinking, you know what? This house is too crowded, full of all these type A people trying to be the very best that no one's ever seen. I honestly just kind of want to find myself outside of the Price family circus, and I just want to get out into the world and explore outside of my family. That is why when they opened their home to Divesh, it kind of opened his eyes. He kind of saw Divesh as this kind of new person who's lived in a completely different culture and experienced so many things, and he's just so impressed by it. He's constantly trailing him around the house, asking him a ton of questions, and the whole idea that Divesh has gotten the opportunity to be a foreign exchange student and learn about their culture and leave his home to kind of explore the world has inspired Jaden to kind of want to do that himself. So his focus is kind of making sure he keeps his grades up so that he can eventually qualify for the foreign exchange program, so that he can go out into the world and explore like he's always wanted to. Out the box, EA gave Jaden literally nothing, as they give every kid in this game. So I did want to give him a little bit more of a personality by giving him goals. And I think that kind of palling around with Divesh kind of helped to kind of form that story of him also wanting to be a foreign exchange student one day. So lastly, in the Price household is Divesh. And I wrote notes for everybody but Divesh. How did I miss that? But I'm going to go off the cuff here. Divesh, foreign exchange student, he actually low-key has been a shadow fan of Savannah. In his home country, he used to watch her streams all the time, and it kind of helped him pick up the language a little bit, and he kind of developed a little bit of a crush on her. But as he was picking up the language by watching her streams and watching media from that side of the pond, it's what influenced him to want to enter the foreign exchange program, kind of get out into the world, and, find his ultimate mate, because he's a little bit of a romantic. So ideally, in his dreams, he's going to go out into the world, as an exchange student, and then find someone, fall in love, and kind of put roots somewhere else outside of his home country, world, and live out his life. That's his dream. He's hoping that maybe now that he's staying with the Price family, kind of a dream come true, that worked out, that he got placed with them. But he's hoping that will kind of spark romance between him and Savannah, and she could be his dream come true. Little does he know, she may not be romantically interested in him at all. But that, my friends, is my take on the Price family. Let me know what you thought of the lore that I rewrote for them. Would you be interested in playing with my version of the Prices? If you are, please go ahead, take a look at the description section. I've got a link to their trade files, Just Genetics, and I'll have on the gallery bases of them if you can't use any mods or CC, that you can kind of dress them up and make them look however you want. But that is it, you guys. Let me know what you thought of my made from scratch Price family, and how are you enjoying high school years? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. But as always, guys, stay safe, stay healthy, and of course, stay dazzled. I will see you in the next one. Bye.